I see dead people.
Is it every other week that we have another convicted PDF? Why is it that every big YouTuber is suddenly a pedophile? As some of you may know, Cody Ko was recently accused of having inappropriate relations with a 17-year-old Tana Mojo when he was 25.
I hooked up with Cody Ko when I was 17 and he was 25.
She's recently admitted this on both her podcast and her tour, and other YouTuber Gabby Hanna was also seen detailing the scenario where Tana Mojo was hooking up with 25-year-old Cody Ko at a party at Playlist Live in Florida when she was 17.
Well, did you know that Gabby is actually on record telling the exact same story several years ago?
One time, I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside and I was like, hey man, you probably don't know, I know she looks a little older, she's underage, watch it. And he was like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And then he heard that.
She said that the young Tana Mojo was 17, and although she looks older, she is indeed a minor. And Cody Ko said, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry about that. And then proceeded to keep making out with her and eventually slept with her the same night. I'm well aware that this situation was 9 years ago. And when you put it like that, it does sound interesting. But when you put it in the same reference of, oh, that's the difference between their ages, it gets a little more interesting, right? So this happened at Playlist Live in Florida. And some of you may already be asking, well, the age of consent, Cron, well, what is it? In Florida, it is 18. So this is illegal, a felony, and a crime. And one that you would think a role model like Cody Ko, who has a wife and kids, granted this was before all that happened, but someone who is of that caliber, who has a massive following, who has a massive influence, and a diehard fan base, would have maybe a bit of a better role model. Maybe he isn't the role model we all think he is. Now, you might be asking, well, this Tana Mojo girl, she has no credibility. She's so disliked. Are we really going to dismiss actions of felony and a crime just because we don't like the person who is making the accusation? This is not an accusation to take lightly. This is something that is very serious, and if brought to the legal system, could warrant jail time. This is statutory rape. But from the whole Gabby Hanna thing where she was talking about this and referenced you as an anonymous individual some years ago, and now it gets brought up when Tana Mojo is on tour.
Who's the smallest you've ever had sex with?
Oh my God, no one look at me, Cody Ko. I can say that. I was literally 17, I can say that.
It's really adding up here. But I guess this is no surprise coming from the dude who posts content like this. You're a freak, dude. You are a freak. I just don't see the point in doing stuff like this. You have a whole career and your life set up through making these videos. You don't need to be doing all this.
You don't have to be the bad guy.
Content creators have the easiest hard job in the world. There are people out there who are finding the cure for cancer, fighting for countries, and dying every single day. And we have the privilege to entertain an audience on a semi-regular basis. This is not stuff that you should be resorting to in your free time. It's not just people like Cody Ko. It's Dr. Disrespect. It's EDP445. It's Bentellect. It's Diddy. Dr. Disrespect. You had a whole wife and kids, and you blew it doing this? Through a Twitch whisper chat to a minor? Dude, what is going on with these people? We all know the iconic cupcake incident that EDP found himself in 2021, and it brings us back to the same scenario. What are these people doing in their free time? What is the obsession with underage people? People loved your videos, and you blew it doing this? It's just, where is the thought in that? These are people who we are supposed to look up to. And then Bentellect, the TikTok creep. So here's a photo of Bentellect asking an OF creator to come on his podcast, and they'll have a nice, wholesome video going. And then he was going to trade with them and do an OnlyFans video, to which the OnlyFans model declined, and he immediately like spun it back. And I mean, you could just look at the messages. He looks so desperate. I mean, really, like this is embarrassing. Don't even get me started about P. Diddy, the ringleader, the diddler. It's just, I don't physically understand. You have a whole career ahead of you. You have a great family. You have a wife and kids. You have nothing to complain about. Sure, creating content does become tough at times, but is it harder than finding the cure for cancer? No. Is it harder than fighting for your country and risking your life every single day? No, it's not harder than that. It's really not harder than that. You should know better. I don't know how these people fall into this trap. I think that it is the oversexualization of our world today through things like corn with a P and you know, all these other measures on Instagram and in these ads and even the OF models. I think that the oversexualization of the world is ruining our people. I think that we are so drawn to this idea that we need to all be so sexually driven and do all this stuff, when in reality, it really doesn't matter. Sure, yeah, we need to repopulate at some point, but you know, you're 20, you're 23, 25. Is it really that necessary to be so caught up in all of this when you're trying to build a career? Yeah, I'm well aware that the human body, you know, needs this kind of stuff, sure. But, you know, it's really, at the end of the day, shouldn't be your only thing that you think about. I don't understand the drive that these people, that these crooks have as it relates to this stuff. I always thought about this like, imagine if it was your little sister or your daughter that got involved in all these heinous crimes with older men. Like, that is just a horrible thing to think about. And the fact that it is literally going on with people who we believe to be role models right now is absolutely inherently disgusting. Anyone who is defending these people or is trying to make comments to save face, oh, well, in my country, the age of consent is different. Where it happens is where the law is. If the incident happens in Australia and the age of consent is different there, okay. But it happened in a part of the country where the age of consent was 18. It is illegal. It is a crime. It is a felony. Talking to minors?
Knock it off.
You are a freak.